It's National Signing Day here at Georgetown University. I'm here with Georgetown head football coach Rob Sgarlata. Rob, thank you for joining us today. A very exciting day for you, and certainly coming at the end of what has been a very exciting year as your first year as the head coach of this program.
Yeah, it's been a great year. I can't believe that it's been a whole year since I was lucky enough to be named head coach here. And getting to the end of recruiting, I'm very excited for today. Being able to participate in National Signing Day at Georgetown here is a great experience for our kids, the recruits, and our staff.
And again, this is the first time that Georgetown has been able to announce its recruiting class on National Signing Day with right now the rest of the Patriot League and certainly with the rest of the nation. How important is that for this program?
I think it's very important. I think we have unbelievable support here with our athletic director, Lee Reed, and Dan Trump, the associate athletic director for football. For me, every little step that we can make with moving this program forward is what the goal is. So being able to participate today is just one more step in our development as a program.
And certainly National Signing Day, a big thing around the nation. But if you can just take a second to reflect back on your first year as the head coach of this program, an interesting year, certainly an exciting year in Patriot League football. What was it like for you, and I guess what were you able to learn from year number one?
It's amazing how many things you go through in a year. The job is definitely different as a head coach coming from being a defensive coordinator. And the one thing I was lucky enough to do was to assemble my staff when I did get the job a year ago, and I think they've done a tremendous job. Mike Newberger's done a good job with our offense. Luke Thompson came in and continued a great tradition of defense that we have here at Georgetown, and lucky enough to have the experience of Coach Doherty, with our special teams. So, we definitely believe in the axiom that you win with people, and it starts with my staff. We have great teachers, people that relate very well to our players, and for me that's a huge asset with our staff.
And now you've been on the hilltop for quite some time, first as a student athlete, now as a coach for over 18 years, first year as a head coach. So you've seen the recruiting process, and maybe more importantly, you've seen the recruiting process here at Georgetown. But just talk about what it was like as your first year as the head coach here at your alma mater, how that process went, and I guess how you were able to approach it.
We took a very business-like approach to the recruiting this year. One of the best things about being at Georgetown is the Georgetown brand is known nationwide and worldwide. So there's really not a school in the country that we can't walk into because people know a couple things about Georgetown. One, it's in the most powerful city in the world, in Washington, D.C. Two is it's a great academic institution, and three, to be honest with you, one of the biggest selling points for us at Georgetown is not just the 4 years here, but the 40 years afterwards. Our alumni network is extremely expansive and supportive, not just in athletics, but Hoyas overall. They will receive about 22,000 applications for this class, and they'll actually interview every kid with an alumni. So it just shows you how expansive the network is and how into it the people are that have had the experience here at Georgetown.
And now looking at the product on the field, certainly some impressive players within the program, but what was the focus when you sat down with your coaching staff to put together the needs that you guys had in this class? What was the focus for you guys? You
always look at what you're losing, from a positional standpoint, but we tried to focus on the individuals that we try to recruit. We look for people that, believe in what we believe in. We want tough, hard-nosed football players where football is really important to them. Georgetown's always held out as an unbelievable academic institution, but we're going to leverage that and use it to get the best football players that we can. And as I alluded to before, we didn't just limit our search to the Northeast. We have a big class that stretches across a number of states, and I think our coaches did a really good job of going through the recruiting areas and making sure we're doing a pretty good job of evaluating the players, not just on the field, but in the classroom, and most importantly, what kind of people we're trying to bring here to the hilltop.
And you talk about leadership, certainly some very good leaders here on campus already, but when you look at the kids, just kind of a snapshot of where they were as high school student athletes, how do you see that leadership from those kids coming into this program?
It's funny, when you go to campus, we try and talk to as many people as possible, not just the football coaching staff, but the guidance counselors and to the people that, open the gates in the morning to see what they think of the players, how they conduct themselves on campus. And going through the numbers, we actually will take a class of roughly 23, 24 players, and over half of them were team captains. So I think that just speaks to the quality of the kids that we're going to get here on campus, how they were guarded by their own teams and their teammates, and I'm really excited to get them here at Georgetown.
And then with this class, certainly a very impressive class last year of 32, now bringing on another 23, potentially 24 kids in this class. Athletically, how do you think these kids fit in on campus, and what type of depth do you think they'll be able to provide in year one?
You know, every year as you move forward, you're trying to improve your talent level. And, you know, for us, I think it's an extremely strong class up front. You know, I like the offensive line group. I think we definitely are trying to replace some great players on the defensive line that graduated and played a ton of football for us. You know, our senior class was extremely strong. And then throughout the skill spots, I think we'll definitely upgrade our team speed, you know, in the defensive backfield and as well as in the offensive skill positions. So for us, you know, the number one priority was to improve up front, and then we wanted to make sure that we were doing a good job building some depth with our skill players.
And then finally, what is it about what Georgetown that kind of rings through to people? So you walk into high schools across the country and are able to get kids interested in playing football here at Georgetown. When you talk to those kids, and certainly to their parents, maybe more importantly, what is it about Georgetown that you're hearing back from the students and certainly from the families?
You know, when I got the job a year ago, you know, wanted to sit down and figure out what our 3 core principles were going to be. You know, and 4 for 40 is the first one, where we talk about, you know, the Jesuit ideal of cura personalis. You know, we're talking about educating the mind, body, and spirit.
Sure.
And we talk to the players that we want to get the best people on campus who are going to be able to live up to those core principles. So, you know, for us, the 4 years here, we wanted to set the kids up for the next 40 years of their lives. And it's not a job or a car or that kind of a success. It's really the development of the person.
Sure.
And I think when you talk to parents about caring about what their kids are doing on a Saturday night, you know, caring about the fact that they're involved in some of the community service initiatives that we're in, you're really talking about the entire college experience, with athletics being a big part of it, but not being the end-all, be-all. So I think when you talk about the full college experience with the parents and the players, for the people we want to bring here, the guys that it resonates with, those are the people that we want to bring to campus.
And certainly Georgetown right now in the midst of its winter training program, spring ball coming up soon. How exciting is it for you just to get back out there for the start of year number 2?
You know, you hope that you learned a lot from the first year. You know, I'm sure that we did some things right. We probably made a ton of mistakes, and we do a pretty good job of reviewing what we've done and trying to make improvements. You know, every time we make a mistake, it's an opportunity to get better. You know, we talk to the kids a lot about, you know, you either win or you learn. So there were some things we won at this year, and there's definitely a lot of things that we learned coming into year 2.
Well, Rob, thank you very much. Certainly an exciting day for Georgetown and the football program here on the Hilltop. National Signing Day 2015, Georgetown coming in with a terrific class. Thank you very much to Rob Sgarlata for joining us right here on GUHoyas.com.